Hi you guys! So for today's video, it's pretty much just going to be kind of like a chit chatty tutorial. I'm doing this look that we see here. It's super simple, super easy. A lot of this makeup is drugstore. Pretty much, I would say like 65% is drugstore, the rest is high-end. So if you want to see how I got this look, then keep on watching. Okay, so I'm just going to jump into things. We're just gonna kind of go back and forth between like tutorial and chatting. It's gonna be more so me chit chatting than me really like going in depth about what I'm doing. So I'm just gonna take a little primer. This is a new primer. I got this in my Ipsy bag. This is from Elizabeth Mott. This is the Thank Me Later face primer. It's supposed to be mattifying. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of this and put it mostly in my porous areas and where I get oily, which is pretty much all over my freaking face, let's be honest. But I was using this in Hawaii and I really like it. So far so good. Today is Saturday and I just got back from Hawaii. What day did I get back? Wednesday, I want to say. I had such a nice trip. It was really well needed. Like, God, I feel so good coming back from it. Well, I mean, I don't really feel that great coming back from Hawaii. Obviously, I would like to still be there sipping. If you guys haven't had a lava flow, if you ever go to Hawaii, get a freaking lava flow. They are so bomb. Like, oh my God, changed my life. But anyways, obviously I would much rather be there, but I had a really nice trip, so that's what I was trying to say. But I have this pimple right here on my forehead. I think it's like from all the sand and dirt and heat when I was out there, and it hurts so bad. Okay, anyways. So when I was in Hawaii, this is the foundation that I wore every single day. Or my face makeup, pretty much. So I took my Neutrogena Hydrating Tint, and this is in the shade Natural Beige. I think I mentioned this in my last video. I just dotted this all over. God, why do pimples have to be so painful? Like, I know they're ugly, but why do they have to be painful? Can't you just pick one, like either be ugly or painful? You can't be fucking both. Like, that's just too much. And then I mixed my Healthy Foundation from Physicians Formula. I really like the color it gives me, and the finish of these two are really nice, and the coverage. Did I already say coverage? I don't remember. I'm going to take my It Cosmetics brush and just start to buff that out. I didn't get around to taking surfing lessons. I was super bummed about that. My brother didn't really want to do it, and we just didn't have time. We were only there for 5 days, so there just wasn't enough time to do everything we wanted to do. We did go on a couple of hikes, which were really fun and really nice. We hiked to Diamond Head, and we hiked to Waimea Falls, which is this waterfall. And they were both super beautiful. I don't know if you guys, well, you guys probably don't know this about me, but I don't do hikes. Like, that's not my thing. My friends know this about me. They make fun of me for it, but hiking's just really not my thing. Like, me and climbing things in the hot ass sun, sweating, that's, you know, it's just not me. But, you know, when in Rome type of thing. But I had a really good time. I didn't even complain, which is a miracle. So I'm just going to go over that with a damp sponge. It's probably going to be, I think it actually might be the first and the last, which is really sad to say, but the first and the last time me, my brother, and my grandma will ever go on a trip together again. My grandma will be 90 in April, so I guess she turned 89 in April. And, you know, she's just too old to be traveling. She just doesn't like it. It's too much for her. So she said this is the last time, you know, she's going to get on a long flight. I think she could do like cruises or something like that. Or maybe an hour flight to like Los Angeles or something like that. But 5.5 hours was a little bit too much for her, so go in with some concealer. This is my Smashbox Studio Skin 24-hour waterproof concealer in light. I'm just gonna put very little bit, just like right there. That's it. I'm just gonna tap it out with my finger, my ring finger. I'm just gonna set that under eye area before it creases with a little Laura Mercier powder. I don't ever really like to bake my under eye because it just dries out my under eye. Some people can do it, but my under eyes don't take to that very well. Okay. Now before I set the rest of my face, I'm gonna go in with a little liquid highlighter. This is from Laura Geller. This is the Dew Dreamer Illuminating Drops. They look like this. And this is in the shade Gilded Honey, which is the shade that they are famous for in their pressed highlighter form, if that makes sense. You can find this brand at Ulta. This is where I got this from. So I'm just going to put a little bit on the high points in my face. Now these liquid highlighters aren't like the Cover FX drops where they're like super blinding. So you can go in with a lot of this actually. And it's super nice for like a natural makeup look. But you can intensify it if you put a powder on top. Buff that out. I don't know if I ever told you guys what I do for work. So I work with autistic kids as a paraprofessional, and I also work as a school aide with special needs kids. So I have 2 jobs. I work 55 hours a week, which I'm sure people work more than that, but that's a lot. I'm like really exhausted after every day. But I love my job. It's just so fulfilling. And there's this one kid that I've been working with for over a year now, and just to see like where he started to where he is now, it's just so cool and so like heartwarming to see like a kid's progress and to be there for that whole journey. So I'm just gonna set my face now with powder. Anyway, so the company that I work with, we kind of just work with the kids until they have enough of the skills that we give them to kind of just be on their own. So he's gotten to the point where he's ready to graduate and he doesn't really need us anymore because he's doing amazing. So we're probably within the next like year to like half a year gonna discharge him and see how that goes and see how he does without us. But I'm just like so proud of him, and I don't know, it's just it's really cool to see. And he has the cutest younger brother. His brother is 2, he is 7, and his brother is 2. I'm going in with my Hoola bronzer, by the way. And his brother is so funny and so opinionated and is such a mama's boy. So anytime I would come over and his little brother would come home from daycare, he was always like so moody. You never knew if he was going to be happy to see you or if he would just cry because he just wanted his mom and he wanted you to get the hell out of his face. Like he didn't want anything to do with you. So lately I've been like playing more with the baby brother and playing toys with him and stuff, and his brother has really bonded with me. So now anytime I leave, he cries so loud and like blocks the door. He'll run to the door and tell me, no, you can't go. Like, where the fuck do you think you're going? I'm sorry. And it's just so cute. So cute. But I feel so bad because he cries and screams his head off when I leave. I feel bad, but it's so cute. I really fell in love with Hoola bronzer from Benefit when I went to Hawaii. I used it before I went to Hawaii, but I thought it was nice, but when I started using it, because this was like really the only bronzer that I brought, because this is really good for traveling. This blush bar, it comes with, you know, a bunch of different blushes and your bronzer. Anyways, point of the story is, it was all I was using, and it just gave my skin like the most natural looking tan. I really, really love it. So now I just can't put it down. Okay, so for blush, I'm going to go into my faves. I'm going to dip into Gold Rush first. And I'm going to pop this more so like on the back of my cheekbones. So this area here. And then I just like to, like that, that's it, with California, because that shit is pigmented, and pop it right on the apple of the cheek. I'm going to take some of my Laura Mercier translucent, this is the Glow Powder, and I'm also going to take the brush that it came with, and swirl it around in the cap. You really don't want or need too much of this on your brush when you apply it. Just set that powder on top of that liquid highlighter. I've been listening to a lot of Ed Sheeran lately, and God, his music, like if you really listen to it, he is such an amazing, not only musician and singer, but songwriter. Like his songs are so beautiful. I love it. I listen to a lot of different types of music. I think my favorite is definitely like 90s to early 2000s R&B. But I definitely listen to like pretty much everything besides like heavy metal and that kind of stuff. That's not my jam. You can, yeah, no. Thank you. I'm going to take some Urban Decay Primer Potion. This is in the shade Minor Sin, which has a little shimmer to it. Pop this on. So I have this really pretty shade called Amaze from ColourPop. So I really want to put that kind of everywhere, but I'm just going to throw a little transition shade. I'm just going to go in with my Smashbox palette and take this brown shade here called Almond. You can really take any kind of neutrally brown you have. I really don't want too much of this. I just want like the tiniest bit. I might actually mix a little bit of the cream shade in it to dilute it, because I really don't want that much pigment. I just want a little something. So I'm going to go in with this shade now. I always feel like these ColourPop shadows are best applied with your finger. So I'm just going to take that. Oh, that's such a pretty shade. I'm just going to take my pinky and I'm going to dip into this champagne shade. I'm going to pop that right on the inner corner. Okay, I'm going to spray my face with some Morphe setting spray. I like to do that before I put on mascara so it doesn't get wet and then transfer. Just going to pat that out a little bit. I'm going to go into my Dior Show Mascara. It's the little baby one. Oh, that noise. It's so satisfying to hear that little. This freaking wand is huge. Okay, so I totally thought I was, you know, talking and filming, but I guess my camera shut off, so I don't really remember the last step that I did with you guys, but I threw on some mascara. I actually added a little eyeliner just because I felt like the look kind of needed it, and I also threw on this lip from Kylie. This is a velvet liquid lipstick in the shade Vibe, which, you know, these colors, they're not my fave, but I'm trying to do and try new things. You know, I'm trying to step outside my comfort zone because I really only wear nudes and like a little pinky nude and a gloss maybe sometimes. I live for glosses, but anyways, this is the finished look, you guys. Thank you for being here and chatting with me and listening to me. And if you guys like this video, don't forget to leave it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in my next video.